Kenya kuniga kera tuno tomanyiro na kambanare. Excellency, my brother Simba, the governor, I must say to him that I've been hard to find. There are many times he looked for me and I was not present. Some of you know that I come from here. This is a home for me. But we have to do something to build the kind of businesses that we want in this area of the county. And Pauline from the foundation brings along the bank. And I'll tell you a few things around the bank and also the group. Most of you know my face when I used to be at KCB many years ago. And now Standard Bank, who is our parent, is Africa's largest bank. I was telling the governor earlier, not many of us know how to count 1 trillion shillings. Standard Bank is more than 22 trillion shillings size of balance sheet. You can add Uganda, you can add Kenya, you can add so many people, and it's still enough out of Africa. And it tells you about what we bring on the table. Now we may come, as the governor told me, it's probably we are the bank number 33 or 34. I was a chairman of the Kenya Bankers for many years, governor. There is very few counties except Nairobi and Mombasa, which are the banks that you have in Kisii. There's no other. This is why the central bank came back and put in a new central bank here when I was the chairman of the Kenya Bankers. But let me tell you about what we see. We may come today, and sometimes an MOU is so important for us. You can come later, but you can come in a significant way to change the impact of what you see in the marketplace. And 3 things that I like to repeat. Your Excellency, when the Minister for Education spoke, he said 59 TVETs will add the 9 computers to make it 59. It's good to ask. So that is one area for us to do. Literacy is important for how you use knowledge, especially with the younger people. They are born with technology. So the more you invest, the more you push, and we build this kind of engagement for the long-term future, not just short-term. That's one area I'm very keen on. Women entrepreneurs and smaller businesses, if there's one people that are known in Kenya for business, is people from the Kisii County. This one you cannot take that away from them. You can say many things, but in terms of enterprise, Kisii really goes strong. When I have my Somali friends, they always ask me, the only people close to business is my Somali friends. But we have to convert that business to wealth for them, to enterprise, to empowerment. It just must move ahead. Lazima endelee mbele kidogo. So we have to see the transformation. When I look at a county and a city like Ruiru, and I say, it was a very small town. And I know we have a challenge of land as a city or as a town and a county headquarters. The future for this next 50 years is what we must be able to think about. Now, our bank is more than 150 years old. So people always say, okay, we have a problem with people who have been here long enough. But we can tell you many things that you don't know exactly happened. Can tell you what happened in the 90s, can tell you what happened in the previous 100 years, and we want to think about the next 50. The thing about our bank, we are able to start thinking about the next 10 to 20 years. And Governor, I will say, Your Excellency, there are few people who think beyond the 10 years, especially for our nation. Yeah, I sat many times at the Vision 2030 board, and I said, what is 2050 looking like? It looks very far, correct? And most of us will be here, will be able to see. Kenyans now are living to 100 years. So we'll see that 50. We better plan for it. The third item, which is important for me, is through the business creation, you create jobs for the younger people. Ajira ya vijana is what you must really do. And it's not just a problem for us. And I mentioned the governor I saw earlier, that we are doing something for the next generation. That is the commitment, the doers. And then there are the many of them who are just there to make noise. They are always going to distract. They are always going to say, you cannot do. And I share a story like the governor that when I was CEO of Kenya Commercial Bank, I was 37 years old. And there's so many people making noise and saying, what can you do? What can you walk? Many people, So you have 2 choices. Do you listen to this noise or do you decide, watch a tunitembe? It's a walk, isn't it? Today, they asked me, some other universities was calling me to give me a honorary doctorate to say for the work you did. So if I listened to that noise, I won't be here. And we build a bank to more than 2 trillion shillings today. So my answer to you is that the leaders have a lot to do. And I can assure you my personal promise. We are a large bank. We want to build a better connection for business, so we exist in the region. We exist internationally. We have a bank in China. We're the only bank which has got 100 staff in Beijing and Shanghai. There's no other bank. We have more than 300 staff that are in London today, in Dubai. If you're looking for people to do business across the continent, like our people do, substance, they want to export. So what Bolin brings is the investment part, and I bring you the bank, and the group will provide the solution. So, Governor, my answer is I may be late, but I'm a stronger partner for you, and you'll be surprised how much weight to bring. It's a new platform. It's a new platform. And I don't worry myself, about those issues, because I always say I've run a large institution, and why don't you show me what you have run then? If you want to challenge, let's see what you have done. So that is the experience I bring for you, and I thank the people for the business in this area. I also want to finish that I see this county impacting a lot, just the entire region, not just Kisii only. So when I go down to Sondu, go to Kisumu, go to Homa Bay, go to Kericho, go to Nyamira, go into Nandi, go into Transmara in Narok, there's a lot of ecosystem for our people to be able to build, including those who are overseas. We have a lot of diaspora people, and we are a bank of the diaspora. And I know I've spoken a lot that I promised, but I want to assure you in my generation, by the way, what matters is the impact you create. People remember me as a CEO of KCB. Well, that's how they remember. But people should remember we created 10,000 jobs. We created 1 trillion shillings of wealth for people. And that's what we want to do in the bank we are today. So asanteni sana for honoring us with your presence. God bless you, Governor. And looking forward for the MOU signed this afternoon. Asante sana.